Greetings and welcome to the Mid-Missouri Kayak Weather and COVID-19 report for August 2020. At 10:15 in the morning on Tuesday, August 4th, the temperature is 68 degrees. We're expecting a high of 74. Yes, we're in a cool spell. Last 2 or 3 days had some cool evenings. However, tomorrow will be close to 80 and then 80s the rest of the week and 90s by the weekend. No rain predicted, just cloudy for the next, at least what I could see into the weekend. Yeah. So, well, we did have some heavy rains intermittently the past couple of days. It's been a wet summer. Moreau River that I'm on is relatively high, and I think the Missouri River is probably close to flood stage here at Jefferson City. I know that Herman, which is like 40 miles downstream from us towards St. Louis, had flooding on the Missouri River. But they have two rivers that enter the Missouri from here to there, and there's the Osage River, the Gasconade River, plus other streams. So, yeah, they've had flooding. Okay, so yes, I'm on the Moreau River. This section here, where I am, is half to 3/4 of a mile from the Missouri River, south of the Missouri River, and it's been 4 months since I was on this stretch. I tried a couple of times, and there was mud on the ramp, and there was no way I could back down or walk down through the mud to get into the water. So this is my first opportunity in a while, which tells you that, you know, the water's been even higher. Yes. Okay, so Moreau River. There's a hawk that's being chased by some birds. That's the first one that I've seen. I've seen a couple of turkey vultures, hundreds of crows, and boy, were they noisy. I think they were laughing at me, trying to keep up with a couple of great blue herons. There were 2 great blue herons that they wouldn't let me get within 100 yards of them. They kept going downstream, so no pictures of those. No pictures at all so far. And that's about it for wildlife. There were 2 floats in the river. They're like a foot to 18-inch sections of PVC pipe that had pool noodle around them. And tape wrapped around them, excuse me, and a heavy fishing line. And on the tape was written the owner's name, and address and phone number. So I suppose that if they were found further downstream, how do you know where he dropped them? That you could report it to him. So I may give him a call, let him know that I saw them. One was pretty firm. I couldn't pull on it without tipping my kayak, and the other one seemed free. So that first one has probably got a good sized fish on it. Yeah, so there's that. Wildlife, kayaking. Okay, let's get to that COVID-19. Missouri is just about 53,000 reported cases. Cole County, which is where Jefferson City is at 317. Now, when I last reported 3 weeks ago, it was 134, so it's more than doubled. And that 134 was more than double from the previous month. So yes, Missouri now is currently in what is referred to as the red zone, the states that are having high incidence of COVID-19. In here, morning does. Yeah, high incidence. Now it's not at Arizona or Florida, but yeah, there was a week or so where we had continuous 1,000 new case days. Interesting thing in the paper today, there are 50 counties, which I believe the state has about 120 counties. There's 50 counties in the state who are unable to do, the health departments are unable to do COVID-19 testing. Because the federal money, which goes to the state and then to the counties for local government allocation, goes to the county commissions. And in those counties, the county commissioners have decided that there are better use, COVID-related use for that money than for testing. So they can't do testing, and they can't even do contact tracing, which is important to contact people who may have been in contact with someone who has the coronavirus. But yeah, that's how it is around here. It's called the Show Me State. Did I ever tell you that? Yeah, it's a Show Me State. today, August 4th, is an election day of sorts. It's primary day, and many of the positions that are up have no Democratic candidates. So the Republican, and it's an open primary, so the Republican that wins that primary basically will be uncontested in the November election. Yes, and there's also an amendment up for Medicaid expansion. Medicaid expansion was voted down once before in the state, but it's been pointed out by many people, and the people who got a petition to get it on the ballot, to save state money, because it would bring in federal money for that Medicaid. But yeah, the legislature itself would not do it. And so what the governor did was, rather than have it on the November ballot where you get a bigger turnout, put it on the August ballot for the primaries, where you probably won't have as many people voting. Yeah, because we don't want the Medicaid expansion. All right, that's it. Oh, you know what? My health, that's been a go-to topic lately, hasn't it? Yes, yes. Well, 2 weeks ago I went for an MRI, brain scan, and it's still there. There was no sign of recent or past stroke. Now, a TIA would not show, but there's no recent or past stroke. And I'd seen the neurologist the day before, and he said he was sort of on the fence, 50-50, on whether to recommend corrective surgery for my heart. But let's see what the MRI shows. Well, the MRI shows nothing along those lines. So I'm seeing him in 6 months, which is beginning of January. So that's that. That's it for health. I think I told you I was COVID tested and I'm free. My camera, I think, is tipping backwards. Well, anyway, I think that covers everything. Oh, one other thing, poetry. I have had 4 poems featured by online journals in the past 6 weeks or so, and I have another one coming up in first or second week of September that will be featured. Been accepted and will be featured, so that's cool. It's been, like, geez, you know, 9 months to a year since I've really submitted anything, because mostly I write to prompts or challenges, and so I want to get those, and I think still think they're good poems, but I want to get those out right away. And a lot of these journals don't want anything that's had any exposure. They want unused poetry. So yeah, I had those featured, and I have a collection of poems that's about 52 poems. It is 52 poems that I have submitted in competitions before that have not gone anywhere, but I did do that again just the other day, submitted it. And I've also, of those 52 poems, I can break it down into 2 sections, 23 poems apiece, that could be chapbooks, which I have submitted at times too. So maybe this will be the one. Who knows? Tipping, camera's tipping. All right, well, this has been your Mid-Missouri kayak weather, and COVID-19 report for August 2020. Ciao, folks, and vlog on.